Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome, my name is Aiden. I am so happy that you are here. Today's kind of an exciting video because I have 4 of my 6-pan, these are the only 6 pans I have, from Pat McGrath, and I was going to go over all of them. I was going to rank them at the end, kind of tell you which ones I like, which ones I don't recommend as much, or why you might like it more than I do. So the ones that I have is I have her newest one, her Bridgerton collaboration. And then I also have these are so hard to read. This is it just says Mothership. That is not. Rose Decadence. It says it on the back. She changes the packaging every time, just a little bit. This one is the Levion Rose. And then I have one of her first one, which is the Platinum Bronze. The packaging on these is just unreal. So they're so editorial and just beautiful. I love the packaging. We're going to admire it just for a second so that you can take it all in. Not quite as exciting. Her newer ones, I don't know. The ones with the faces just call out to me a little bit more, although this one very much looks like Bridgerton. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope that you enjoy what you see, and I hope that you consider subscribing. If you are a return viewer and you haven't yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. Have you tried any of these? Have you tried any of Pat's formulas? Let me know down below. Let us know. Don't forget to like this or dislike this. Either way, it really does help out small YouTubers like myself. I thought we'd start with the most recent palette and then kind of go backwards. So we're going to start with the Bridgerton palette. And it does say Netflix and Shondaland on the back. The inside on the mirror, it says Flawless, my dear, which makes a lot of sense if you have seen Bridgerton. And then inside you have 6 shadows. Obviously these are all her 6 pans. And 3 of them have like a little embossed thing on them. So you have 2 bees. This bee has seen a little bit better days. And then you have the cameo silhouette there. So the Bridgerton palette has one traditional matte shade. Then you have a couple of these that are, I don't know, a gelée formula. I'm not sure like how to describe them. They're almost like a matte, but they're stiffer and they have a little bit of a sheen to them. They're by no means a shimmer shade, but they're not quite a satin either. They're their own thing. Then you have her like duochrome kind of special formula in that bluish white shade, and then you have 2 shimmers as well. The shimmers and the mattes are probably my favorite. I really loved this shade right here in the center. It was a gorgeous shimmer. I used this shimmer quite a bit too, and I really enjoyed that one. And then I did enjoy the 2 like satiny matte type shades. They were very pretty. But the matte was really, like, it worked so well. It really blended in well as well. The one that was kind of blah to me was that special formula. I don't know. I've tried some of her other palettes in store and swatched them before, obviously before you weren't allowed to swatch things. But I wasn't too impressed with, like, her quads that she just did, the special formula, because I don't really enjoy it. I feel like it's okay, but you have to work with it so much to really get it to look good on the eye and to have like an impact. So that was my least favorite shade in this, which is kind of funny. But these shades are really pretty. They are definitely shades that I would gravitate towards on a regular basis. And I can see myself using this one for a long time to come because those shades are really, really up my alley. Next up is the Rose Decadence palette. You can tell that she's kind of evolving in her packaging style with this one. I do like that these are so much easier to use because they just open. This one does have the little insert. You would have seen that the Bridgerton one did not. It doesn't have the shade names on that, but it does list them on the back. So I guess I should have told you what those names were. So the names of the shadows in the Bridgerton are Iconic, Ingenue, Art of the Swoon, Regency Blue, Plum Regalia, Duchess Divinity, and Love Match. So very much they fit with the tone of Bridgerton. In this one, you have to keep the insert to know what they are, but you have Pink Champagne, Peach Dusk, Fuchsia Flame, Hedonistic Rose. It's a lot harder to read them when they're clear too. Scandalous and Golden Honey. So obviously you can probably decide, or you can probably tell which one is the Golden Honey. So in here you have like 2 mattes and 4 shimmers. So it's kind of not as many different formulas in this one, and you don't have any of the special formulas or like that kind of satiny type formula in this one either. Okay, so that's what they all look like swatched. I will say that the mattes in this palette are not nearly as creamy as they were in the Bridgerton one. They're a little bit scratchy, especially like this purple. Even the pink has a bit of a scratchiness to it. They blend out really well though, like you can really work with them, and they worked nicely. I don't know, that peach, that pinky color, if you can look at the texture, I know the shade has kind of changed because of my lighting, but it has just a weird texture to it. But it did work out, like you could work with it and get it to look nice on the eyes. This color has almost a shift to it. That's this one right down here. It looks very different on camera than it does in person. Like it definitely has a shift to it. I wonder if I can, no, it doesn't want to. It's looking more purple. It does have, it looks kind of purpley, but it's a little bit more akin to this shade in person. So you do have the gold. You have, I feel like I could get some nice looks from this one. You know, I usually was using the light pink in the crease and then the light pink, the shimmer up above. I could also do it in my inner corner or all over the lid. And then these shimmers all worked really well as well. I do really like this one. I don't know. I feel like the formula doesn't feel quite as luxurious as in some of her other palettes, but the color story of this one really, really works for me. I feel like these are shades that are more everyday for me and ones that I would reach for on a regular basis. All right, palette 3 is the Levion Rose. These are the Mothership Subversives, like they're the small palettes. And once again, this does have the little thing over the shades, so it tells you what they are all called. You have in this palette Pale Fire, Purple Rain, as not in the rain, but as a monarch reigns. Gold Nectar, Paranormal, Rose Risque, and Euphoria. The packaging on these is much bulkier and kind of more awkward to use because you can have it sitting out and you can use it, but this flap always like goes over and it's a little frustrating. That's what the 6 colors looks like in here. You only have 1 matte in here, and then the rest are all shimmer shades. This one is kind of, it's similar to that kind of satin gelée formula that I talked about in the Bridgerton palette. It does have somewhat of a sheen to it, but it's not a traditional shimmer shade, as you'll see in just a second. It's difficult to get the palette to stay open and also see the swatches because this is really one that you need 2 hands to hold open. So there you can see the shadows. I'm going to go up close. I know it's going to change a little bit, but you can see how that first couple were a little patchy. They do a little funky thing. They did work pretty well on the eyes, though. This one is an older palette, so I feel like some of the formulas aren't as good as they were, like that top row, as they were when I first got it. This gold is absolutely gorgeous. It has such a pack. It's such a creamy, smooth, beautiful finish to it. I do like these two as well. Like they all perform well, but it's just the top row doesn't perform as well as I remember. And maybe that was because this was my first Pat McGrath, and I've tried other formulas since then, and I'm maybe a little pickier. I don't know. So I do like this one. I was struggling to come up with some looks that I really enjoyed with this one, though. I did get some compliments on one of the videos that I know that I was wearing this. Somebody said that they really liked my eye look, which I was surprised because I felt like it looked kind of like a mess. But sometimes we're not the best judge. So I didn't always feel comfortable in the looks that I came up with just because there are such bold colors. But there are some really gorgeous shades in here that I will definitely reach for. And And this is one that I would probably, I don't mind mixing with another palette because there are some gorgeous shades in here. So I really do like those top two, the gold and the purple, and then I really like this one down here. It's just really pretty as well. So yes, I like this one. I feel like it's not quite the best of hers though. All right, we come to the Platinum Bronze. This is definitely one that I probably would not have purchased if it was not on sale. All of these except the Bridgerton I did get on like significant sale, like 40-50% off, because they are very expensive palettes. I think they're like $60 a piece normally, and that's why I don't own a lot from Pat McGrath, because they are a more expensive brand, but every once in a while they do put them on sale either through Sephora or through their own website, and that's when I tend to purchase shades. The shades in this palette are Platinize, Smoke and Mirrors, Telepathic Taupe, Deep Velvet, Ritualistic, and Sextrovert, like weird names. So this is what it looks like. This is actually the palette that I have on my eyes today. This is my 4th day of wearing this. I wanted to, you know, get a little bit more use out of it before I came on here. So this is what it looks like. I have the dark matte brown in my outer corner. There's only one matte in this palette, like the last one. Then I used this shade right here. That's in my crease. I kind of just try to blow it out a little bit. And then in my inner eye, I have this color here. I was trying to do different looks. Like every day I always do different looks. So I was trying to get a little bit more use out of it. And I felt like if I use this shade, it's just too much. It has such a presence to it. It's too much to do like as a brow bone eyeshadow. So I just stuck with 3 today because these are very intense. So I will say that I feel like with every palette, her formulas get a little better and a little better. These are very pretty. Like they perform really well. As you can see, like there's not that patchiness that you saw in the last couple palettes. Even though this is an older palette, I feel like she might be returning to her roots a little bit. Those really bright colors didn't work quite as well as this one and the Bridgerton palette. These worked really well. I mean, I feel like I don't love the look that I have on today, but part of that is because I don't really like cool tones on me. If I'm doing neutrals, I want like a true neutral or a more warm neutral, and I feel like these are just a little too cool toned for me. They're not what I really love on myself. So I felt kind of uncomfortable like as I created the looks, and then if I looked in the mirror, I didn't like them as well. But that's me. So if you like a cool tone palette, like this is a really nice palette. I wish with these that she had 2 mattes in each one, because I just feel like you really need another matte to kind of balance things out, because you're not going to do like a whole bunch of shimmers. But I like both this one and the last one that I showed you, that the shimmers are such different shades. Like you have such a wide variety, so you're not feeling like you're getting the same look over and over again if you are using those shimmers. I'll give you one more look at those shades because I know I didn't hold them up quite as long as I did for some of the other ones. So overall, would I recommend Pat McGrath 6-pen palettes? I think if it is a color story that you are really drawn to and you really think you could get looks out of, then yes, I think they are worth it. I think they're very beautiful. They just work really well, and I feel excited every time I open them. Like I look at them and I'm like, oh, they're so pretty. And part of that is the outer packaging, part of that's the formulas inside, part of that's the color stories. So yes, but I wouldn't pay full price. Like even with my Bridgerton collaboration, I got it you know, a little bit of a discount, which helped, but I wish I would have waited. If I had known that it was actually going to show up at Sephora, I would have waited for like that 20% off or more at Sephora instead of purchasing directly from Pat. It also like left a lot of people a bad taste in their mouths that these were they sold them, they launched them on the day after Christmas, and then they didn't ship them out till the middle of January. And nowhere did they say that like it was a pre-order or that it would take you a month to get it. So that was a little disappointing in terms of her customer service. I'm also like, I've heard some bullying tactics that Pat McGrath is doing to other like small companies, and I don't really I don't jive with that. I feel like it's a little bit excessive and not cool. If you are interested, Jen did a video on it. Jen loves reviews, and she kind of talked about what was going on with that. I'll try to link that down below. Anyway, I'm going to rank them. I'm not going to declutter any of these. I feel like they lasted, you know, you have the look, it looks the same at the start of the day as it does at the end of the day, so they have really great lasting power. And the ranking might not rank as high for you. Like, take it with a grain of salt where I'm ranking it, because I'm putting in last place the Platinum Bronze because it's cool toned, and I don't love cool toned, and I don't see myself wearing this a whole bunch. Like, I will wear it once in a while. I do like this brown shade that's in my corner, but it's definitely one that I would need to use with other palettes, and I also wish that it had at least 2 mattes in it. So yes, in 4th place is the bronze palette. In 3rd place, I'm going to put the Levion Rose. I thought this one would be higher, to be honest with you, because this one is the first one that I purchased, and I've worn it quite a bit, but I'm finding that I just like some of the other formulas a little bit better in the newer palettes. So I do love the colors. I did struggle to try to use all of these colors because I realized I normally wouldn't use all of these colors, and pushing myself to use all of the colors, I didn't always like the looks that I came up with. So I do like this palette, and I will use it. I will continue to use it because I've used it a lot over the years. But you know, it's one that I might bring in some other neutral type of shades to kind of balance the look out and make it myself feel a little bit more comfortable and not so out there of a look. So that's it. Have you tried any of these palettes in the past, or do you own any of them? Let me know that down below. Let me know if you are interested in more of these like brand reviews. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye.